Athletes, welcome back for another great day of fitness. We got David and we got Kevin, and Kevin switched sides, so we're gonna see if he can pull it off today. We've got box jumps, burpees, X jumps with no jumps. You can throw the jump in there if you want, and we also have dumbbell snatches. So get set, get ready, the warm-up is coming up next. Your warm-up is here. We've got 10 seconds on the clock. We are going to be going into heel-toe rocks, so grab some floor space. We are starting in 3, 2, 1, and up on your toes and back to your heels. We're working on getting those ankles warmed up for the elevation we're gonna be using on our box jumps and our step ups. You got 10 reps total, so every time you go to your toes, that is going to be 1 rep. After we're done with this, we are going to go into toe taps. So both athletes are gonna turn around, face their box, and then we can use any object for this, but you are gonna alternate feet touching those toes to the box. If you don't want to jump or don't turn it ballistic, you can simply touch that foot forward and then come back down. After we get done with our 10 toe taps, we're going into 10 RDLs. So athletes are going to move back in front of the boxes. We're going to take our hands, place them on our legs, and we are going to slide those down our legs until we get to a range of motion that we feel our back starting to round out, and we stand right back up. We have 10 reps here, and this is simply used to get our posterior chain warmed up. So I'm gonna have David turn to the side for me. You're gonna notice he keeps a nice flat back as he goes down, and we're keeping those legs straight, but there is a slight bend there. You wanna feel this bias towards your hamstrings. After we get done with this, we're gonna go into our X jumps with no jump or 4 dumbbell snatches. So I'm gonna have Kevin move to his dumbbell. He can go through 4 alternating dumbbell snatches here. I'm gonna have David go through 8 X jumps with no jump. When we're loading into this, the range of motion is slightly different than our RDL. So we're gonna lower our hips slightly so that we can use leg drive to come out of our X jump or out of that dumbbell snatch. When we're done with that, both athletes are gonna go into 5 box step ups total or 5 box jumps. So I've got Kevin starting on his box. I've got David moving to his box. We have the option today of step ups and step overs, or we are doing box jumps or box jump overs. So if you guys want to start easy here, we got 3 minutes in this warm up. We can go into our jumps or our step ups in our later round. We're going to move back to our heel toe rocks. So I got both athletes going into those heel toe rocks. Again, we're gonna speed it up a little bit because we got less than a minute and we're gonna make our way all the way through another round. I'm gonna have them go 3 more reps, 2 more reps, 1 more rep, and now we're going into our RDLs, or sorry, toe taps, our toe taps. We got our toe taps to our boxes here. Again, we can step with these or we can jump. It's gonna sound like woodpeckers in your garage or your gym if you guys are using a box. Now we're moving into our RDLs. So hands go on your legs, you were sliding down and coming back up. Now we've added some speed here, but because we've added speed, it does not mean that we can get out of position. So I want you to make sure you're biasing towards those hamstrings and posterior chain. After we get done with that, we are going into our dumbbell snatches or our X jumps. We are elevating that heart rate. We're gonna go over the 3-minute mark, but I wanna get your heart rates up and I want to get you all the way through. David is gonna periodically mix in some X jumps with a jump because we never do the jump. It's always X jump, no jump. We got some X jumps, just plain and simple for you today. I got Kevin moving back to his box. I got David moving back to his box. In this position, you guys can go into your jumps, you can go into your step ups, you can go step overs, whatever you feel like to get yourself warmed up. I'm gonna have athletes do 2 more reps each. That is 1, and we got 1 more, and that is 2. And that is it. The warm up is done. The workout is coming up next, so get yourself ready. We got fitness coming your way. Athletes, your workout is here. We've got 10 seconds on the clock. Go ahead and make your way to where you are doing your burpee box step overs or jump overs. We are starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Now the structure for today's workout is that we've got 3 rounds. We've got 8 reps of our burpee box jump overs or step overs, and then David has 16 X jumps with a jump or no jump, and then Kevin has 8 dumbbell snatches. That's 4 on each side. We've got 3 rounds of that. When we're done, we're gonna take a minute rest. Then we go to 2 rounds of increased reps. So I don't confuse anybody. I'll tell you those reps when we get there. But we are going to basically be consolidating that volume of our 3 rounds into 2 rounds and then into 1 round on our last and final set. You got 2 1-minute rests in today's workout, and you'll see that when that happens with our athletes. We've got David doing our step overs here, so he's going down into his burpee and then stepping over. We've got Kevin going into jump overs. When you guys are on these, there is no need to get full extension on top of the box. You can stay nice and low. We've got David going into his X jumps, no jump, but he's adding that jump, which I said is fine today. If you guys want to push your intensity a little bit and you normally do the no jump, add that jump in there for today. We've got Kevin going into his dumbbell snatches. On the dumbbell snatches, you should use a weight that is going to let you get 8 reps on each side unbroken. So that first round should be one that's pretty easy for you to do. The second round's gonna be a challenge, and then our third round, where you have the giant set, will be one that you'll probably need to take a short rest before you pick it back up, and then you finish out your reps there. We've got both of our athletes going into their second round of our 3 rounds on part A. I'm gonna give you a part A, a part B, and a part C, just to make it a little bit more clear so that nobody gets confused. Because if you're like me, if you hear a bunch of numbers while you're working out, it will make you lose track. And I always say, if you don't know what rep you're on, you're always at 0. So just trying to make you better. We got David working through our step overs. And again, with David, I am going to give him the cue. I need both feet on top of the box when he does a step over. Because what will start to happen is that our step over will be that leg swinging around the outside of the box. And I want to make sure the majority of your body is passing over. If you guys are jumping on top of the box, both feet must make contact. We've got David finishing up his step overs. We got Kevin going back into his snatches. And again, you guys want to find an intensity here that you can stay consistent with. We want to make sure that when we're going on this, we don't start out too hard on that first round, because we've got the same amount of volume coming up in our part B and our part C. Kevin is on to his last round of his burpee box jump overs. We got David going back into his X jumps. And again, David's switching it up today to get that intensity somewhere where he can keep moving. So we've got our X jumps, no jump for this portion of part A. You can mix in the jump if you want to. If you want to stay no jump the entire time, there's no penalty for that. We want you guys to customize this workout so that it meets you where your fitness is and then pushes you a little bit beyond that. David is moving back into his burpee box step overs, and we got Kevin finishing up his burpee box jump overs. Now, if you guys are a little bit ahead of our athletes, remember when you finish this third round, you need to look at the clock because you're gonna have a minute of rest. That minute is gonna be based on you, so it's not standardized that we're resting from 4 minutes to 5 minutes. It's just whenever Kevin finishes this last dumbbell snatch, that is gonna be time for part A. David is finishing out our final step overs here before he gets into his last set of X jumps with a jump or no jump. We're gonna see what he chooses to do on this last one. And Kevin is done. So Kevin just finished. Kevin's got a minute on the clock. He's gonna start again at 4:47, 4:48. Exactly. Oh, 3:46. I was a second off. It's always an unofficial time until our judges take a look at the score and validate that. So we've got David finishing up his X jumps, no jump. We're giving David no rest today. He's going straight into his next set. No, I'm kidding, David. So after he finishes up here, he'll take a look at the clock. He'll get his minute rest time that he's going to start his part B on. We got Kevin coming up on part B. He's gonna have 2 rounds here. This is gonna be 12 box jumps, and then we're going into 12 dumbbell snatches. Now, the difference between a box jump over and a step over and a box jump or a box step up, we have to show full extension and control on top of the box. So when Kevin starts at 3, 2, 1, you're gonna see him stand up all the way and show control. What I mean by control, it means that you can show extension and still be falling off of that box. So if I ask Kevin to stop on top of the box, he could, and that's where your control is. Full extension is opening your knees, or straightening your knees, and opening your hips, or straightening your hips at the top, so standing tall. We got David getting ready to go into his box step-ups. And the same thing here in our box step-ups, we have to show full extension and control on top of the box. And David is starting now. And with David, you'll notice that what he's doing is he's implementing a great job on alternating the leg he steps up with. You probably have one leg that you prefer to step up with because we always have a strong side and a weak side. But with this, it's implementing balance into this movement so that we're not biasing towards one side. If you're always stepping up with the same side or always stepping down with the same side, you're gonna feel that low back start to get tight on that side that you're favoring. We got David finishing up his step ups, and then he's gonna go into his X jumps, no jump. And now David has moved up to 24 reps here. So we've doubled the number of step ups that he's doing, 12 step ups, 24 X jumps. We've got Kevin onto his last round of this 2-round in part B. He's going into his 12 box jumps, and then he's gonna do his 12 dumbbell snatches. Now, when we're going through this, you may feel like you're going faster than you did in part A, and that is true. It's because we have less transitions here. We've combined the volume into 2 rounds versus 3 rounds, so you are moving a little bit faster. That intensity is building in this, even though our movements have changed around. We got Kevin back on the dumbbell, going into those dumbbell snatches, doing a great job of getting full extension overhead. The free arm is not touching our body. And when we go through this, make sure that if you're doing an air transition like Kevin is, that you watch your hands if you're a little unsure about that transition. A lot of times this is a movement that once you get it down, it's like riding a bike. But if you're trying to learn how to transitioning in the air like Kevin is, watch your hands because it increases your hand-eye coordination. And as always, if you misgrip and that dumbbell goes for a ride down to the floor, get your toes out of the way. This is also why we tell you to clear the space out around from you so that you don't have anything you can drop that dumbbell on. Now Kevin is making the transition of the box so it is out of the way because we've got our burpee facing lines coming up. Or sorry, he's got dumbbell facing. I'll get it straight in just a second. But we got David finishing up with our X jumps, no jump here for his 2nd round of part B, where he's only got 2 rounds. So Kevin is doing dumbbells facing his burpee. So we've got a line under that so that he knows where to put that dumbbell at. Now, the thing I want you guys to make sure that you do, when we're going over this dumbbell, we have to go over the dumbbell. It's very easy to hop around the side of the dumbbell. So after Kevin gets his minute rest in, he's going into 24 dumbbell facing burpees. So he comes up and he hops over that dumbbell. Now with this, we've seen in the open for CrossFit, if you guys have done that, there's not a standard for a 2-foot takeoff. So if you guys do a little skip over that dumbbell, it's fine. But please, please, please be careful with that being an odd object. It's super easy, and I'm not trying to like jinx anybody. As a matter of fact, I'll knock on wood. I don't want to roll any ankles with this. So when we go through, make sure that you're intentional on your jump. We got David moving his box out of the way, using the nice roll the box to stage left technique. We're conserving all that energy for our last and final round that we have here. This is the big one. David is gonna have 24 line facing burpees, and then he's got 48 X jumps, and we're gonna make these jumps every single time. He doesn't get an option. There's no jumps on this one. It's all jumps all the way through. Now, when David starts, he has the option of stepping or jumping over his line. You guys can pick if you want to alternate, do 4 reps with the jump over the line and then 4 reps with the step over the line. You pick your intensity here. But I want you guys to remember, you need to find where your fitness level is, and let's keep ourselves right above that because we're trying to encourage adaptation here. I want you guys to be fitter when we get done with this than when you walked in at the beginning of this workout. I know these guys are getting fitter. I'm getting fitter just by osmosis, by being close to them. I'm feeling the fitness that they're building, and I can feel the fitness you guys are building at home. So keep this pacing. Here we are on part C, so we are on our last and final round. We got 1 round, and this is the big one because we have all the reps combined into this finisher that we are going through right now. Kevin is finishing out his 24 dumbbell facing burpees, and then he's gonna go into 24 dumbbell snatches. We got David onto his 24 line facing burpees. And now Kevin is off on his last movement. We're gonna see if he can go unbroken on these 24 dumbbell snatches. Again, you can't hear it, but I can hear it. Kevin is breathing out every time he sends that dumbbell overhead. I talk about this numerous times in previous videos if you guys have worked out with this before, but your breathing is by far the most important metric of anything that's going on with you because your breathing is your internal pacing clock. So we think about trying to breathe with each rep on this movement If it's a new movement, you will find that you start to hold your breath, which is what we don't want to do. So we want to make sure we keep ourselves in control. If our breathing starts to elevate, we can try to slow ourselves down just a little bit. We can take a quick rest if we need to. But this is it. Kevin is flying through these 24 dumbbell snatches, and he's doing it just in time to cheer David along for our 48 X jumps with a jump. David is finishing up these burpees. Kevin is done. Kevin's gonna do some bonus dumbbell snatch. You want bonus today or no? It's no problem. So here we go. We're in our X jumps with a jump. So David's getting himself prepared. He's moving to center. We got Kevin doing his extra dumbbell snatches. Give me 2 more. And that is perfect. And then dumbbell goes down, and we are all eyes on David. David is going through. He's giving us a great job on these jumps at the top here. Now, if you don't have the X jump with a jump, don't feel pressured to. We just want you guys to get through these 48 reps. This is one that, again, these are like step jacks. If you think this is an easy movement, I would challenge you guys to do it, because you can increase the intensity here over what you could do with the dumbbell snatch, because you can only go as fast as that dumbbell can move. Here, it's as fast as our body can move, and David is flying through these reps. He's touching the ground in between his feet, and then he's getting full extension at the top. He loves that I told him that he's jumping in all 48 reps here. We are finishing up on our final lap on these X jumps with our jump. The height on that jump is your choice. You guys can go as high or as low as you want to. I just want clearance from the floor. David, where are we at? 45, 46, 47, and 48. That is it. Great job, David. Great job, Kevin. Great job, everybody at home. If you guys are still working, as always, you know to finish up all your reps. Don't stop just because we finished here. If you guys are already done, fantastic effort. We loved having you once again. Make sure you stick around because your cool down is coming up next. No, up here, up here. Athletes, fantastic job. If you look like David right now, you know that you brought the fitness. And even if you don't, if you're up walking around like Kevin is, I don't even know what Kevin, yeah, Kevin's still with us, then you guys did a great job. It does not matter what you look like after the workout. You just know that you put in the best effort you possibly could, and we love having you. Now, if you like free stuff and you're not a part of the Mayhem Athlete community, I got a secret. We got a 7-day free trial that you can start right now to get on your fitness journey. Whether you're looking at bodybuilding movements or workouts, functional fitness, CrossFit, working out any place that you could move your body and get some space, we can help you along to being a better, fitter version of yourself each day, or making it all the way to the competition floor. You'll find a group of like-minded athletes and individuals, and I say athletes because if you can work out, you're an athlete, to encourage you along daily and in the grander scope of things along your fitness journey, because you got a life to live and you need to be fit while you're living it. Now, if you don't have your cool down in yet, your cool down is right here. Kevin switched sides, but we got the cool down listed over him. So stick around and take care of your body because it took care of you. It's 5 to 6 minutes and you will feel tremendously better and be ready for tomorrow's workout. As always, be good, be kind, and join us again for another great day of fitness.